Yeah, so today we're still in August, but we wanted to talk about the progression. Um, so Mars is approaching Gemini, as you said, and coming out of Taurus. We just last time talked about the internal ramifications of this conjunction of Uranus on Rahu, which is still occurring. It's still within 2 degrees or so. So people are still feeling this sort of insecurity with their resources. They're thinking about how to redefine their values, become more authentic. And depending on where this shows up in your chart, what house it's in, it's going to affect that part of your life. Particularly if you experienced, if you have Taurus placements or Scorpio placements, you're still feeling this uncertainty in Taurus and really perhaps wanting to have that identity change. But as Mars pops into Gemini, the feeling is now that you're ready to take action. It's not a situation where you really know what direction to go, because Gemini can be kind of scattered. It's that kind of frantic energy or like frenetic energy of Mars
Hmm.
where it's not balanced. It just came from Taurus, really a grounded energy, but sort of jarred with all this like Uranus and Rahu unknowns. So
Yeah.
it hasn't been feeling very easy in life to cement your ideas, to ground yourself has been really difficult with Uranus here. It's not a grounding energy. It's a very kind of like um, cerebral energy, kind of ups and downs, that kind of thing. And so it doesn't feel like when you're coming into this, especially because this is the second house from this house, it's really this idea that you do want to start making changes to the way you make money, your income, the things that support you in life. And you're looking to diversify at this point in Gemini,
Mhm.
how you do things, looking at different options, investigating, maybe doing some reading and research in the best way. And now that's in the best way, but in, like Laura was saying, to some degree, it's so frenetic that you may end up going into different non-useful
Right.
adventures. So
Yeah.
really thinking about knowing that this is not a very grounded energy, that perhaps it's important to take your time and really do that investigation rather than trying to jump into things quickly. And I'll kind of share a little bit more. Because right now, as we move into September, um, Venus is going to still remain in Leo for a bit longer. And of course, we're now coming into Virgo season. And so Virgo season's great for this energy because this is the fifth house from this kind of awakening that we've had recently
Hmm.
within Taurus. There's been disruption to cryptocurrency. I think like Celsius went under, which is
Oh,
a
really?
company. Yeah, yeah. I just found out about that.
What happened to Bitcoin? Is it?
So yeah, so I think all the cryptocurrencies are extremely unstable right now, and some of
Hmm.
them, some of the vendors of those have gone under, and
Wow.
it many people are asking whether it's viable at all. And I think that energy of Rahu is casting doubt onto this new type of technology of currency. But I think that that's also kind of manifesting in our internal world because we may not have well, some of us may have invested in crypto and thinking, oh wow, like I don't know if this is gonna but eventually it will, because this placement with Rahu is going to move, and
Mhm.
it'll eventually come into Aries, which completely changes the viewpoint from a currency standpoint. And it does bring in usher in new opportunities there. But for you on an internal level, you would also be feeling this kind of an unrest. And now it's going to improve within September, I think, because Leo season, you might have spent quite a bit of time enjoying, the summer and being around others and playing games and recreation and parties and these kinds of things. And as we come into Virgo season, there's a seriousness about it. There's an idea that we want to start manifesting a lot of the new aspects and things that we've learned from this destabilizing of Taurus really help us to redefine how we're going to express ourselves. This is the fifth house, what new ventures we want to solidify, and that's going to manifest in daily rituals and activities and schedules that promote this kind of solidifying of your thoughts. So while you're over here kind of investigating all the different things you want to do, this has to come in a package of wanting to be more disciplined with your day and really put some action behind and plans behind what you want and where you're going in life, and how you want to continue to create a lifestyle for yourself that's more in alignment with your identity with here. And so it's really nice that we get this opportunity. Again, it is a little frenetic. It's a little disorganized, but I think this sun in Virgo is going to attempt to pull that organization in and make you
definitely. I think you'll get a lot of inspiration and insights because of that trine to Uranus and Rahu.
Yes. That you're going to get these fantastic inspirations, and they're going to be grounded, and they're really, because the ruler of Virgo is here in the sign of Libra. It's going to be a very logical approach. You're going to have you're getting your ducks in a row. Plus, Mercury then retrogrades back into Virgo and comes back, as we'll see. So it's, and also Venus here, just, I think, really just enjoying the last bit of Leo here before we move on. It's enjoying that kind of relaxing atmosphere, maybe wanting to be out and express yourself more in your relationships and with warmth and that sort of thing, and kind of more being true to your values, because we did go through a really tough Cancer season recently where the emotions were really raw. A lot was happening here in this house. We were kind of trying to self-assert. Mars was coming through here. And so there's a kind of a redefining of our internal matrix that happens every time we go through a Cancer season. At least for me, it feels this way. I'm like, oh, I didn't know I felt that way, but now I do. And so, so, there's a little bit of this and kind of enjoying that last bit of warmth. And then, of course, Venus comes in and joins the sun here in Virgo. And I think that just helps us, we're doing all this investigation here, but we're actually bringing in this grounded wisdom at that point where Venus is kind of saying, well, I'm going to use my judgment better in making decisions of what I want to manifest here. And that's going to be especially helpful because as time progresses through the end of September, you're going to see that the sun comes together with Mercury. Our thoughts, our logical things are coming, our plans are being manifested in a really nice way here. And then let me back up and come in. Sorry. Okay. So then when we see that this new moon occurs, I'm going to just bump it all the way here. Okay. Yeah. So when you see the new moon in Libra, at the very tail end of the month. It's just for me um, because Venus and Mercury retrogrades into the sign of Virgo, and has, you know, sort of had this sun coming through and all that. Um, for me, this is a really good moment to figure out what you're going to do. Maybe even if you are starting a business or something like that, because you've decided that you want to go a different direction. It's a great time to plant those seeds with Libra, too, because Mercury was just in Libra. It speaks to business ventures, trade ventures, those kinds of things, new businesses and new partnerships. And also because this is the sixth sign from what's going on in Taurus. That really does, that could be like starting an LLC or starting like a corporation or something like that, a new business venture, contracts, these kinds of things can become available.
Yeah,
Because
that's a really good new
it's a
moon
really good moon. It's a
for
strong,
manifesting inspirations and creativity. It's right exactly opposite Jupiter too
yes,
in
yes.
Aries. Yeah, that's will be a wonderful time to especially with business, like you were saying,
Like to
because
start a new business, right?
yeah, absolutely. Libra is the sign of trade,
Leaves as a sign
you
of
know.
trade.
And
This is
even
just
with
really getting,
relationships, it's really good too.
yes, building partnership with
Hmm.
relationships, you know,
Hmm.
with Venus and Mercury kind of close by, and in a really good sign to be organized and intentional about what you're doing and get yourself your ducks in a row, cementing those partnerships. And is it, you know, it could be potentially very profitable. It could be very much within your what you want to do for your career, not just like something that you're doing to make money, but more something that is a long-term aspirational desire.
Hmm.
And again, too, because Saturn is still in the 10th house from what's happening here in Taurus. So it's really, really talking about how can we achieve greatness from a business standpoint. This is an amazing time. So you guys remember where you're at. September 25th is a big opportunity to plant a seed, to potentially write like a contract or an LLC, or start a
Hmm.
business or start a partnership, or create what you want to do moving forward. And maybe this is something that you've always wanted to do but didn't have the guts to do. Now that we have sort of, we're having Uranus, you know, Rahu's kind of stepping away from Uranus a bit.
Hmm. They're moving
So you're
away.
not
Yeah.
going to be
Hmm.
quite as afraid of the unknowns, because again, you're doing your due diligence here. You're kind of exploring your options.
Hmm.
And again, too, we had talked about like if you want to uh, explore your options, maybe this is a time where you don't go very far into like foreign travel if you don't have to, but it's more like around either intellectually or getting into new coursework, up leveling your skills, because you're going to do something really novel and really true to yourself. That's going to kind of accelerate your sense of greatness within the world. So in a really nice way, we're coming up on some pretty decent
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
decent uh, decent planetary situations for folks who want to strike out, want to do
Hmm.
something different, want to break through. So it looks still pretty good on the internal
It
side.
does. It looks really good on the internal.
Yeah,
And that often happens, when people are kind of what's going on in the outside world isn't very inspiring, and chaotic. We turn within and that's really showing with the astrology. So
yeah, yeah. And I'm so excited for this for people who have really wanted to make a change in their life, or they just want to change their values and their how they fund their lives, how what gives them stability in life, and redefining their new relationships and business relationships. It's just such a good opportunity right now, I think.
Yeah, very much so. That
Yeah.
Jupiter is really going to be nice for that new
Yeah,
moon.
I think
So,
so. And I think it's going to be lovely too, because this retrograde into Virgo makes sure that we're aligning our thoughts with our actions, in the sense that our daily lives are going to be organized behind this. And then, of course, once we get into October and Sun and Venus come through Libra, it's just sort of going to bless that whole new partnership, new effort. And I think we're really we're going to be able to get this done. And of course, then, you know, the moon, we'll talk about this later in October, but then the moon comes in, we have a full moon in Aries. So I think, you know, if you're not if you're not thinking about doing something unique and doing something different with your life, you may want to investigate that at this point. And this would
mhm,
be a great time to pick up new coursework, go to school, or go learn new skills, and kind of just investigate and think openly about your options. And then, of course,
mhm.
those of you who are kind of gunning for a change, maybe you are a Taurus, maybe you're a Scorpio, and you are really gunning for a change because you've gone through those um, through a lot
Yeah.
of this energy, then
Hmm.
this might be a time where you can kind of like really shift things in your life, and
Yeah.
make changes that will persist. Especially like again with Saturn being here, um, those changes you make are going to persist.
Yeah. It's going to give a long-term stamp on those.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
This is not like quick and dirty. This is more you're doing things in a concerted way that has longevity, and you're thinking things
mhm,
out and you're planning it out, and it's very much um, going to have legs, and it's going to be more true to who you are. So I'm really excited about the opportunities people have on the internal landscape.
yeah, I am too.
Cool. All right,
All
well,
right.
okay, so that's it for today. I just want to
Yeah,
thank everybody for joining us.
yeah,
As
thank
always,
everyone. Thank you all.
thank you all. And stay tuned
Thanks
for
for having
next
me on,
time.
Ida.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure having you on. I can't wait to talk about the eclipse next time. We're going to have a discussion all
Oh
about
yeah,
eclipses and like
really exciting.
affinity, and also
Mhm.
the portals and
Yeah, the
past
portals
lives
to the
and
astral and past lives,
astral and
how they're connected to the eclipses, how you can see a lot about your past life from eclipses before the
yes.
eclipse before, especially the solar eclipse before your birth.
Yeah.
So it should be really interesting. It's a lot of fun to look at that. So
Yes, I'm super excited to talk all
yeah.
about that next time. So thanks,
Yeah.
guys, and stay tuned for next time.
Yep.
Um, take care.
Bye.
Bye.